I'm Graham Peace. I'm basically a freelance art director who takes people's content and I design it for print and digital. Being a designer in London means you're pretty much at the heart of the industry. I'm from Manchester. I hate Londoners and I can't stand the place, but I love working here and it's buzzy and it's good to be amongst all that and to be picking up and feeding off that, and that's why London's a good place to be as a designer, and that's why I'm here. There's lots of inspiration around you. I mean, they say around here, especially if you threw a stone out of a window, it's bound to hit an art director's head. Maybe we should try it, I don't know. There's loads of little shops and nooks and crannies you can always kind of discover, and for example, Balama Posters is this fantastic little shop that I kind of stumbled across. Psychedelics West Coast poster art, which was fantastic for me.
So that was sold in psychedelic shops in the 60s.
Right. My background originally was working on most of the newsstand music publications, NME, Uncut, Jockey Slut magazine, and so I love going in there and I love that inspiration you can get from the culture that music brings you. So I love popping in there and having a little flick through. A collaboration process with clients, it varies quite significantly from client to client. Some clients want to collaborate and many clients don't want to collaborate, but a good client is somebody that you kind of hold each other's hands through the design process, and I think that when a number of people bring their influence onto a project, it turns into something which is often a lot more than the individual parts. That enriches the process, and I think it enriches the solution. So I'm always quite sort of pleasantly surprised that, oh no, they didn't listen to me, but when you actually look at the solution, it can often be a lot better than what you anticipated it being. Obviously, there's a lot of changes in the design industry at the moment with the introduction of digital platforms, but I think the constant, even though there are all these changes, is good design is good design. The digital platforms are now getting to a point where people can design on them, rather than what up until this point seems to have been the case, is that the design was secondary to the programming. But now with DPS, for example, it's made the whole process a lot simpler, a lot easier, and you don't need a room full of programmers to take that content and produce a package that can be downloaded onto your iPad tablet, for example. I mean, you can do it yourself, and it's an extension of InDesign, and that's what designers like myself have been waiting for, and now it's here. It's fantastic. It's great. It takes me back to when I first started designing. I was working up in Manchester, working on a fanzine, and there was a small group of people in an office struggling to publish a magazine off their own back without the backing of a big publishing company, and the clout of having big advertising revenue to sort of underpin the magazine. And this, to me, the single edition of Digital Publishing Suite reminds me of that, because it's incredibly empowering. I mean, I've designed a portfolio app, and I can publish a document globally, and you publicity out with that, and the reach is phenomenal. So it's great, it's fantastic. If I was going to give any advice to young designers these days, I'd say have a go and do it yourself, because the tools are there for you to make it happen. So head down, hard work, keep going.